guys, your girl Bella, how are you? So in today's Fix My Credit Friday episode, I will tell you everything you need to know about the stimulus checks and direct deposits that are due to go out later on this month. Now before I jump into this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know my future videos are posted on YouTube. So as you guys know, the U.S. federal government did approve a stimulus package last month. Now, this package includes sending out stimulus checks and direct deposits to U.S. taxpayers to give them some financial relief as we are currently dealing with this coronavirus global pandemic. Now, the stimulus checks or direct deposits will either be $1,200 if you are filing single or head of household, or up to $2,400 if you are married filing jointly. Now, you can also qualify for an additional $500 per dependent who is under the age of 17. So in order to qualify for a stimulus check or direct deposit, you must meet three of the following requirements. You must, one, be a U.S. citizen or resident alien who has a valid social security number. Two, you must not be a dependent on someone else's tax return. So if you are a college student, for example, and your parents are still claiming you on their taxes, you will not qualify for the stimulus check or direct deposit. And three, you must meet certain income requirements as well, and we'll go into that in further detail. Now, the IRS is going to look at your adjusted gross income on your 2018 or 2019 tax returns to determine your eligibility. So individuals can make up to $75,000 for the year. Head of household can make up to $112,500, and married filing jointly can make up to $150,000 to qualify for a payment. Now, if your adjusted gross income is above any of these amounts, you may still qualify for a stimulus check. So on this slide, you will see if your income falls within any of these ranges, you will still qualify for a check, but for every $100 you are over the minimum, they will reduce your check by $5. So if you are someone who is single, right, and you're making, let's say, $75,100, instead of getting a $1,200 check, your check will be $1,195. If you are someone who does not file a tax return because your income does not meet the IRS requirement, which is $12,200 filing single or $24,400 if you are married filing jointly, you still qualify for a stimulus check or direct deposit. Now, you will need to provide the IRS with your information, so I'll put a link to that website in the description box below. Now, in this form, you will have to give them your direct deposit information as well as your dependents information so you can still qualify for that additional $500 per dependent. Now, if you are someone who currently receives Social Security, disability, or retirement benefits or railroad retirement benefits, you also qualify for stimulus payment. Now, you don't need to do anything actually because the government already has your direct deposit information on file. So you actually are all set. So I'm sure your next question is, how do I get my money? Well, if you filed your 2018 or 2019 taxes and you received a refund via direct deposit, the IRS will actually use that bank account information to send your money to you directly. Now, if for some reason that bank account is no longer valid, you've closed it, or whatever the case may be, you still have a couple of options. So first option, the IRS will be creating a website where you can update your bank account information. So once that is open, and as long as it works, you'll be able to give the IRS your new bank account information. Now, if for some reason you don't get to use a portal or you have some kind of issue, if the IRS attempts to direct deposit those funds into that account and it does not work, they will then kick it back and send you an actual check. Now, of course, that will then delay you getting your actual money, but don't worry, the money won't be lost. You just have to wait a little bit of time. Okay, so let's go over who does not qualify for a stimulus check or direct deposit. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, if you are someone who can be claimed as a dependent on someone else's tax return, you will not qualify. Next thing would be if you are someone who filed your taxes using an ITIN number, which is an individual taxpayer identification number, which is normally used as a substitute if you don't have a social security number, you will not qualify for a stimulus check or direct deposit. Next thing would be if you are someone who owes any back child support, you don't qualify. And last but not least, if you are over the maximum requirement for the income that the IRS has identified for this package, you also will not qualify. So let's go over that in further detail. If you are someone who files single and you make more, or your AGI, adjusted gross income, is more than $99,000, if you are married filing jointly and your AGI is over $198,000, if you file head of household and you make more than $136,500, you also will not qualify for a stimulus check or direct deposit. So I'm sure your next burning question is, when am I going to receive these funds? Now, according to the IRS, some taxpayers who have direct deposit set up will see these funds as soon as, or as early as, April 14th, 2020. Now, as far as the paper checks, they will start mailing those on April 24th, 2020, but they will be doing it on a staggered schedule based on income. So anyone whose AGI is below $10,000, those checks will be mailed in the month of April. Anyone whose AGI is between $10,000 and $30,000, those checks will be mailed in the month of May, and they will continue sending checks out on the same kind of schedule from May through September. Now, if you do have any additional questions, I will put a link to the IRS website below, because they are making updates to the site weekly, sometimes daily. So you can use that link to keep up to date as new information comes out. You can also keep yourself updated on when the portal will be released, so you can update your bank account information if that applies to you. Now, if you have any questions you want featured in a future Fix My Credit Friday episode, feel free to send me a DM on Instagram, or you can send me an email, and I hope I can feature your question in a future episode. Now, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.